A group of New Orleans civil rights leaders is complaining about an email calling for more police stops in Mid-City. The NAACP calls it an abuse of power. But Paul Murphy found a different opinion in the neighborhood.
Is one of the most economically and ethnically diverse neighborhoods in New Orleans. Neighbors here pay up to $300 a year for overtime police patrols through a cooperative agreement with the NOPD. This week, an email surfaced from Sergeant Sam Palumbo, who coordinates the patrols. In the memo to about 50 officers, including 1st District Commander Robert Norton, Palumbo expresses his disappointment with the lack of productivity. He referenced a 48-hour period between June 26th and 27th, where he says there was a total of 17 vehicle stops, 7 citations, and 31 pedestrian stops. Palumbo wrote, "This is unacceptable," and threatened to take officers off the assignment if they don't pick up their numbers.
Good policing and best practices does not involve just stopping people and harassing people.
Today, the NAACP and others held a news conference to protest the email and the call for more police stops in Mid-City.
To instruct officers to stop people whether or not there is reasonable suspicion to do so. That is the clear message in this email.
A recent Department of Justice report detailed abuses by certain NOPD officers towards young African-American men. Civil rights leaders admit that's exactly what they're afraid of if off-duty officers are forced to make more police stops here in Mid-City.
So let's just put it on the line, plain and clear. They out to target African-American males. All right? Let's just clear the air on this. They're not looking for no white folk.
Board members from the Mid-City Security District say they've invited Sergeant Palumbo to their meeting next week and will have a statement to make at that time. So we went to Liuz's restaurant, a Mid-City landmark, to get a perspective from the neighborhood.
I wouldn't mind more enforcement, but the idea that it's targeted at any one group, I think, is absurd.
Attorney John Shirley, who lives in Mid-City, says, what's wrong with getting what you pay for?
It's a safety issue. There's no profiling. It's not a racial issue.
The NAACP wants to look at the cards officers fill out every time they make a stop to determine if there are any abuses. Paul Murphy, Channel 4 Eyewitness News.
The NAACP also wrote a letter to President Obama asking him to get the federal government to investigate the Mid-City patrols. An NOPD spokeswoman released a statement saying, as the supervisor of this operation, Sergeant Palumbo must ensure that the officers participating are giving these residents their money's worth. There is no quota to be met.